And that's when I realised that white guy was not going to win the 100 metres. And we're live.
You are now listening to Radio Rufus.
Yes, wahaba hello, and welcome back to another spiffing episode of Radio Rufus. We are back, sack, and crack, having a Brazilian wax in the beautiful vintage studio in which we reside on a week-to-week basis. As always, we bring you so hot you can smell them slightly burnt on the outside, but still raw in the middle. It's news, sports, games, the sort of stuff to crack your back and wet your palate. Right, let's get into it. We've got another fantastic guest episode this week. We've got the wonderful comedian, stand-up, internet sensation, Finn Taylor. Welcome to the show, Finn. Huge applause for Finn. You got a lovely shirt on.
Thank you.
Talk us through that decision.
It's one of two toweling shirts that I own.
Yep.
I'm a father. I go on holiday. I need to look the part.
Lovely stuff. So, of course, you're known for your most popular series, Finn versus the Internet, which you sort of take apart various personalities and make sort of slightly edgy jokes about it, whilst Vittorio and Horatio cackle in the background, which is my favourite part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very different show without them.
Yeah.
Guffawing in the background.
Bit of atmosphere.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it might be too ruthless and brutal, I think.
Yeah. Totally that.
Yeah.
Totally. we just finished making a series and we've just decided to amp up more mics in the crew.
Yeah.
Because it makes everything like schoolboys, and without that, it is just can be a ruthless character assassination.
Right.
Yeah. That,
have you had people get really upset about things that have been said or anything?
Yeah, we had one guy that we had to put it on Patreon only because he kicked off because he thought he was going to get fired. Because he worked at a sort of reputable menswear magazine.
A reputable menswear.
It's called The Rake.
The Rake.
Yeah.
I don't subscribe. The only menswear magazine I've ever got is the M&S catalogue. That is my favourite.
Yeah.
It's my favourite shop as well.
Subscriber?
Just the one-time purchase.
Right, okay.
I think it came in the bag.
Yeah.
But it's been on my coffee table for years.
Really?
Yeah.
Leaf through it?
Yeah.
Really?
It's my dad's collection.
Oh, I see. Right. Yeah.
He doesn't have any Playboys or anything. He just has those.
Just the M&S.
Yeah.
Does he not hide the Playboys in between M&S and Waitrose? That's what I used to do when I was a kid. I used to hide jazz mags in between copies of.
Yeah, you're gonna have to explain what a jazz mag is.
How old are you?
22.
Fucking hell.
I'm only a couple of years older than you, but I remember them.
But you're from Ireland, like
but
that's not a fair read. Yeah,
I wasn't buying them, but there was like a full stash of them under my uncle's bed. That the odd time I would go up and pay a visit.
What were you doing in your uncle's bedroom?
I just knew there was magazines under the bed.
Again, he's from Ireland. Let's not go there. The jazz mags. It's quite disorientating being in a 60s radio studio.
Yeah.
Saying the phrase jazz mag and being called on it. The host's still eligible for a fucking rail card. Comfortably.
30% discount.
A jazz mag, porn mag, before all your tubes, your red tubes, your fake taxis.
Yeah, I think when I was coming into my sexual awakening, I think that was sort of the tail end of Nuts and Zoo.
Yeah. So this is before Nuts and Zoo was kind of like a tabloid version.
So this stuff was upmarket.
Yeah.
Really?
Brought the broadsheets of GQ, FHM, and Loaded.
Do they still make them?
They're bringing Loaded back.
Would you ever revisit that, like a retro wank?
Would I ever buy Loaded?
Yeah,
for nostalgia.
To kind of imbue my wanks with a
rose tinted.
There should be a German word for a sort of nostalgia wank.
Yeah.
No, hard to go analog now. I feel like a Rubicon's been crossed. But anyway, I would hide. I had a PC in my bedroom.
Yeah.
My parents rightfully said, "We don't trust you to connect to the internet."
Right.
So what I had jazz mags, but I hid them because I didn't tidy my room at this point.
Yeah.
I hid them in between PC Gamer.
Yeah.
Which
classic.
That's cute. That's basically like reading alien text for an adult as well.
Yeah, that's like your sort of your incel fanzine.
Yeah.
And so trying to sort of put them off the scent. My mum definitely knew.
Yeah.
Of course she did.
Was it so? I get the sense that was it like Playboy where they said like they fluff it out with sort of
Interesting articles.
interviews that nobody reads.
No,
to try and act like it's not a porn mag.
Yeah, but it's quite good. It's quite good in terms of the post-masturbatory ennui that you feel.
Right.
In that you've got a safety net of sort of sporting catastrophes. So you can jizz, go, oh God, I'm so alone. Ooh, David Boost or whatever.
Post-nut enlightenment.
Yeah.
Knowledge. Fantastic stuff. Finn, of course, you're also known for your excellent comedy special. So My Wife. ... Who knows? And your hatred of American football, which is a big thing.
Yeah.
Still hate it as much as you did then?
Yeah, I feel I made my point.
Yeah. If anything you hate, I actually didn't mind it beforehand, and then you said that, and I was like, no, he's
my guy.
Yeah.
It's really rank.
Yeah.
It's not so much I hate it as I hate British people who like it.
Really? Yeah.
Because
it's not made for us.
No, it just is. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's like watching men who've bought the tickets to go see Taylor Swift. It's like, what are you doing?
Right.
It's not for you.
Yeah.
I
have the same problem with golf.
Right. That's for you though.
What do you mean?
You come on.
Yeah, golfing and skiing.
Golf is made for you.
Oh yeah, but I'm rebelling against my upbringing. It's my own little sort of.
Yeah, give it 10 years, I reckon.
You'll never catch me. You never catch me golfing. I hate golf.
You've got the trousers.
Yeah, I am wearing golf trousers. Yeah.
Give you a wife and 3 kids.
Yeah.
You'll be on that course every weekend. That's why golf exists.
Yeah.
It's for people who have 9-to-5 jobs. It's to give them a job at the weekend.
But I feel like it consumes people's lives. They go out and they get into them, they buy the stupid shoes and the special trousers, all this sort of stuff, and they get special golf friends, and they only talk about golf, and then they only talk to you about golf now.
Yeah.
And I have lost people to golf.
Do you golf, Finn?
Huh?
Do you golf?
No, I'd love to. I've got clubs.
You've got clubs?
My grandfather was Scottish, so it's a different game up there.
Yeah.
People's game.
Would you go full on, like, kitted out for it, or would you just...
Oh, yeah.
Get the gloves.
You need
Suits, gloves,
Yeah.
funny hat. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Right, you're also, I've got here, a senior tutor in printmaking at the Royal College of Art, whose distinguished catalogue explores natural phenomena and landscape, engaging with specific sites and species.
Yeah.
This is you at one of your exhibitions, I think. Finn Taylor.
Yeah.
Tell us about that part of your life.
He looks like one of my fans. That's the disorientating thing.
Is this the average appearance of a Finn cell?
Right,
yeah. Empire Strikes Back t-shirt. Probably works as a fucking paintball marshal. Yeah.
Definitely,
yeah.
Takes Laser Quest very seriously, this guy.
For bringing a knife.
Yeah.
Collect swords. Yeah. Christ, what a rat. Anyway.
Brilliant stuff.
Would you say this is the average appearance of a Finn cell?
Yeah. With billabong shorts and a neck tattoo, you've got you've got my front row.
Yeah. So there we go. That's Finn Taylor, the art professor. As always, we ask our guests the same question every single time.
Yeah.
Just to get into it. So if you could explain the 3-field system of crop rotation that emerged in medieval Europe. How did this system improve agricultural productivity compared to earlier practices?
Leaving it fallow.
Yeah.
One field for animals.
Right.
One field for just leaving it for a year.
Is it?
And then one field for Glastonbury.
Right. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Good. That would have been good. I would have loved a medieval Glastonbury.
Yeah.
You got sort of the court jester playing the lute, everyone having a bit of mead.
Well, everyone would be dead.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Before penicillin, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. Plague would spread like wildfire at Glastonbury.
Horrible hippie sex plague.
Yeah.
Which I imagine is if this was actually a 60s radio, you would be saying.
Would be worried about.
Beware the horrible hippie sex plague. Here's Love and Spoonful, or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we would be anti-hippie.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Big
Are you not anti-hippie now?
Oh yeah, I am. Yeah. But like, I don't even know what a modern hippie is. What do they do? Do they?
I think it's blue hair. They them.
Is that a hippie though?
Well, I think that's the equivalent, isn't it?
I guess so.
Astrology women or modern day hippies.
Yeah, astrology.
Crystals and stuff like that.
There's also astrology for men as well, which is like the alpha male stuff.
Yeah.
In the big
really?
triangle. It's like people identify. As girls say like, oh, I'm a Leo or whatever.
Yeah.
And then base their whole personality around that. It's like guys who think they're a genuine Sigma male,
right?
Sort of thing, and that's they're a lone wolf archetype.
Yeah.
And then they act.
They're almost parodying themselves, them fellas.
Like they think they're Clint Eastwood, but
where are they getting this from? Stars.
Not from the stars.
Andrew Tate, probably.
Yeah, Andrew Tate, yeah. Which is like the stars.
Star, singular.
Yeah.
The guy.
Right, let's get into our first segment then. This is not news. This is what hit the headlines this week. A Tesla has crashed into a police car trying to help another crash. A Canadian nonce's genitals did not fall out of his shorts. And a Zambian pastor has died after being buried alive, hoping to resurrect like Jesus. This first story then, and we're on to our favourite segment, American Unintelligence. As officers in Detroit, Michigan, hustled to respond to a fatal road crash. Something's gone wrong here. This sentence is, officers in Detroit hustled to respond to a fatal road crash near Los Angeles last Thursday. Whilst dutifully carrying out their responsibilities during this horrible collision, their police whip was absolutely clattered by a speeding Tesla which flew into the rear of the Rosa's wheels. The driver admitted to activating the autopilot software and being on his phone at the time. I don't think I could turn on the autopilot and then just relax.
Yeah.
Like that. I know you're still on jazz mags, but there is pornography now of people shagging while the car goes along, and that nobody's
in a Tesla.
Really?
Yeah.
And like,
so sorry, they're fucking in the driver's the front two seats.
Yep.
Yeah.
And while the
puts it in autopilot.
Right. What position are they in sexually?
She's like cowgirl.
He's sitting in the driver's
seat. So his feet are still near the pedals.
Yeah.
But he's not looking at the road.
No.
Very important detail there.
He's looking at the toad. I was trying to think of a rhyme. Christ. So people are, and the wheel steers.
It has like, you know, like lane assist, and it's really annoying.
Yeah, really annoying.
It's like that, but even more annoying. It just does the whole thing.
Right.
And you just sort of whack it on, and it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
Right. And I wouldn't be able to, even if I put it on, I still wouldn't be able to relax. I couldn't place the faith into the system like that.
Because also you'd be thinking, well, I should be having sex now.
The whole time.
That's what this technology is for.
I'm not. At least a tuggy.
Yeah.
I'd understand the hand job, but actual full-on sex.
With someone who's going to do that. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Is that if you're me and your partner's not that kind of woman that
right.
will just tug you off.
You don't need the Tesla.
Carelessly. I don't need a Tesla.
Yeah.
Because if she's not going to tug you off in the back of an Uber, she's not going to tug you off in a Tesla.
Mate,
it's a more luxurious experience.
Getting tugged off in the back of an Uber, that didn't happen to me. But I went on a date the other day, right? It was sort of ending. We were in an Uber. And so, like...
Ending in the Uber. Sad.
Oh, yeah. But anyway, I got dropped off.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, you can give me a goodnight kiss. Right? But now we're just sitting there. No, we're kissing in the backseat of an Uber, and there's just some random Sri Lankan bloke sitting there as well.
He's just tugging it off.
He wasn't tugging it off. Or at least, I hope not. But like, it's a weird first kiss, I think.
Yeah. Because you got a sort of Sri Lankan cuck in the
yeah, just a sissy that don't know what's going through his mind.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's an interesting one for sure.
What was that an Uber Comfort or was that an Uber Pool? And you're just just really good.
Yeah, it was an Uber Pool. Yeah.
Fair play, brother.
Yeah, I couldn't be on my phone. One thing I like to do on my phone on transport all the time is play 8-ball pool.
Right.
You know that game? The problem is you have to line up shots like that, looking down it, which is one of the gimpiest things you can do in public.
Yeah. You don't have to. If you take it a bit too seriously, you will.
I take it really seriously. Yeah.
Is that what dads are doing? They hold their phone like that.
That's what me and my dad do. Honestly,
Really?
honestly, we sit there and we both play the game, and then it's his turn to pass. It goes like that. But I was on a flight to Norway the other day, and there's this really, really hot blonde girl going there. And I was like, but I can't just raw dog the flight. So do I look cool for 2 hours, or do I play 8-ball pool? Real dilemma.
It's funny, raw dogging a flight. This is a thing now.
Yeah.
But there wasn't that language like 10 years ago. That wasn't a thing.
Raw dog.
But I remember raw dogging was a thing. I mean, he's from fucking Ireland.
That's how I was
his middle name
conceived.
was raw dog.
Yeah.
But I remember sitting behind someone on a flight to LA who just drank, not LA, fucking Australia, who just drank whiskey and looked at the flight map for 24 hours. And we were like, well, he's going to get. He's flying to Australia for revenge. He's going to get off the plane to kill someone.
Yeah. People said about
like a weird macho thing.
They said about the gym as well, where if you don't wear headphones or
the gym.
Yeah.
Oh, you just go in there, just don't.
Yeah, if you don't have like a tablet with Netflix,
just go and stand in the gym.
I saw. Speaking of not raw dogging anything, I
in an Uber.
I saw a girl with blue hair go into the sauna in the gym the other day, right? Full tracksuit on, socks included, and headphones.
Wow.
Which that
That's a high level of autism.
Yeah.
Sauna.
something was going on.
You've got the sensory headphones in.
Yeah.
Wow. I went to a Russian sauna for the first time last weekend. A banya.
Are they different?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What's going on?
Well, firstly, it's run by hitmen, essentially.
Okay.
It's like big, bald, pale fuckers.
Gotcha.
And they whip you with birch leaves. You don't have this?
I haven't been whipped. No.
No, really?
Not recently.
Surely you're... I imagine, in my head, your dad is like an MP who had to stand down because of some whipping. That's just what I'm getting from...
People do think that about me.
Yeah. But no, they what was it, birch and eucalyptus, and they sit you down, and then they just sort of slap you.
Yeah.
It's great. Loved it.
Is it therapeutic?
Maybe, I think.
How much power do they get behind the whip?
Well, they start by doing this, and they're moving the hot air around. It's also the hottest sauna I've ever been in.
Yeah.
It's called a banyo, right? And they're moving hot air around, and then they just start. And my mate who was getting it, he was like a second ahead of me. Yeah. So when I heard the, I was like, "Oh shit, it's coming!"
You're getting nervous.
Yeah. You had the input delay on that.
Yeah. And then they sit you up, and then they just slap your tits with these leaves like that. It's pretty good.
My mate did that in Thailand.
Yeah. Well, that's different. Yeah.
Anyway, right. Let's keep on with this story. Police stated that the driver's actions are, quote, a clear violation of responsible driving practices. Apparently the software, basically what's wrong with it and why it crashed is it has this, I guess it's like a form of ADHD where it gets distracted by shiny objects. Yeah. So, like, there have been a string of incidents of basically they crash exclusively into police cars, ambulances and fire trucks.
Yeah. You know, the three vehicles that really...
So, anything with flashing light, it just sort of... The software can't handle it.
Yeah.
It's like... I don't know. It's a bit like a gold digger, I guess. Like you go out with some shiny stuff on, and they sort of lose
orientated.
Yeah.
Surely the police in Detroit are busy enough without having to deal with this shit as well.
Yeah, especially since this happened in Los Angeles.
Yeah, that's.
You said it was in Detroit.
Yeah, well, the sentence says officers in Detroit hustled to respond to a fatal road crash near Los Angeles.
Big hustle.
Surely out of their jurisdiction slightly.
Yeah, I don't know what went wrong with that sentence, but something. California State Police said the officers saw the Tesla coming and they pegged it to the side of the road to avert disaster. The Tesla driver stayed at the scene of the crash, not that he's got another option, of course.
Is he culpable, though? Legally?
That is an interesting question. I think, yeah.
You are still meant to, like
you aren't
attention.
You aren't meant to just put it on and then...
Go to sleep.
Yeah.
Was he fucking? What was he doing? I've lost track.
He wasn't fucking.
He wasn't fucking.
No. Yeah. That was a separate
That was a separate thing, right.
I think he was just on his phone.
Right, okay, yeah, right, fine.
But this is common enough for those cars, isn't it?
This has happened 467 times.
Yeah.
Resulting in 54 injuries and 14 deaths.
I feel like that's a bad review you couldn't just gloss over.
Elon went out and defended this software, and he was like...
Of course he did.
It's still less dangerous than normal drivers.
Well, it probably is.
Which is actually quite a good point.
But that man, he'll defend it. I mean, he called British rescue divers paedophiles.
Did he?
Yeah. Do you remember?
In more context.
The 12 Thai boys that got stuck in the cave. Remember that?
Great, yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the greatest summers of my life.
One of the best.
Yeah. Like the day-to-day cave updates.
Yeah, astonishing.
Thrilling.
Yeah. So he then said, I'm going to build a thing however much time they had, air was running out.
Yeah.
I'm going to build a machine that's going to get through the system and get them. And there were these 4 highly autistic British cave divers that were like, no, we can do it.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, you're obviously paedophiles. Why would you want to save them? You're obviously paedophiles.
Yeah.
Don't trust them. And then they took him to court, and he had to pay them quite a lot of money, I think.
That's the thing. Like, if you had that much money, though, you'd just be calling everyone a paedophile. Like, it doesn't matter to you.
That's my end goal, really.
Yeah.
Is to be calling. You know how John Terry just parks in disabled pays and just takes the fine.
Yeah.
That's what I'd like to do with legal disputes around calling people paedophiles.
It is easy payday for those people, though.
Yeah, well, it's like when there was those COVID rules and they fined you for having a party or whatever.
Yeah, it's like,
just have a party, take the fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
there's already a budget for the party.
Yeah, just got to account for it.
Yeah.
We're moving on to our next story. A Canadian nonce who claimed his Todger and Ovals accidentally slipped out of his shorts in a mall in Surrey 2 years ago has been found guilty of indecent exposure. It's worth noting that this is Surrey, British Columbia, Canada, not the Surrey we know. that's populated by city bankers, yummy mummies, chocolate Labradors, and annoying children. Okay, according to the judgment document, Thomas Cooper was charged with committing an indecent act in a public place after 2 women reported that a man had exposed to them in Guildford shopping centre. Once again, this did not take place in the Guildford that we know.
Sorry, mall is in the American mall, not
Yeah.
a British sort of rolling scrum.
No,
Right,
yeah.
I got confused. Yeah.
Otherwise, it'd be fine.
Well, things are popping out.
Yeah, it happens all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Mate, we had this guy that came in for a taster day once at school, right? And we were playing rugby, and he was grabbing everyone's nuts in the scrum
Yeah.
as a sort of power move.
Yeah, yeah.
But then he never came back, so we just had.
When you say taster day, what do you mean? What was he there?
You
for?
know what that is?
No, I don't.
A taster day.
Yeah,
He comes in and does like one day at your school just to see how it is.
but as a teacher or a kid.
It was a kid.
Right. Okay,
Yeah.
Sorry. No, I
I don't
really
think that's
don't.
the thing over here, is it?
Yeah, he just came in to do like a trial day, like one day.
Was this whenever you were in England, though, or was this whenever?
It went out, yeah, in England.
Oh, right, okay.
So a kid was going to come to the school.
Yeah.
He said, "We'll go for a day."
Yeah.
On
Did
that,
nobody ever do this at your
on
school?
that day, he played rugby,
Yeah.
touched everyone's balls
Well, in the scrum,
in the scrum.
he was in the front row, and
That's impressive.
people.
What he's doing behind? He's doing the flankers.
No, he was going other side.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you reckon he's just doing so many taster days to feel more balls?
he was like 7. He was like 7 or 8 years old.
Yeah.
But we never saw him again. He was the nutcracker, and
Yeah,
he never
yeah,
returned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good power move though.
Good power move. And we knew it was him. We didn't actually know who it was. It was
Other-
like a manhunt.
It reminds me when I was 10 and I played rugby, hated it, but went to this kind of school where football was frowned upon. I was a prop.
Otherwise known as a private school.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I was a big fat kid as well, and so
Were you?
Yeah.
That surprises me.
Really?
A bit of a lanky guy these days.
Yeah. I never really lost the weight. I just kind of got taller.
Oh, it just
Proportionality has helped me a great
so it's
deal.
been averaged over your height. Yeah.
My mean is,
Yeah.
but the y-axis is still fucked.
Right.
Anyway, there was a kid opposite me who was the other prop, and he had like a little, I don't know what the term is. He had like a little hand,
Yeah.
and that as a sporting move really threw me off because I was like 10. I'd not seen it before, and I was like,
Yeah, right.
I thought I had powers or something.
Was he an amputee?
No, I think he just had a little hand.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like a big palm, and then like only 3 fingers on it. Do you know what I mean?
I can visualize it.
But was he missing fingers, or did he just have a small hand? I think what I'm getting at.
I think the term.
It's not a question you get asked every day.
No, I think the term "little hand"
Yeah.
Covers
it.
implies. Yeah, I think I'm not backing down. He had a little hand, like Jeremy Beadle, but again, you won't know who that is.
No.
Christ.
My roommate at school had a one of those, a little hand.
Yeah.
And
You know exactly what I mean.
we got told that apparently the distance, if you go like that, the distance between the tip of your pinky and the tip of your thumb is the length of your penis. And he was fucked.
Right. What? Because his pinky was his.
I don't know, but it wasn't as long as it should have been. Let's just say that.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Um,
Anyway, getting back to this story, Guildford, lovely place. My school football team, they got to the final of like some schools tournament,
yeah.
and the final was supposed to be taking place in Wembley.
Yeah.
And they went to Wembley, and when we were like, oh no, sorry, you can't play here anymore, they had to play Guildford.
Slight downgrade.
Yeah,
Wembley Stadium
Wembley Stadium,
to
Guildford. They don't even have a football team.
Why the fuck was it ever meant to be in Wembley in the first place?
Yeah, I don't know. So if you remember the 2010 Small Schools Interleague Play World Cup, not a World Cup, then yeah,
small schools.
yeah,
The SS.
yeah, the SS,
Yeah.
SS, yeah,
The SS Games.
yeah. CCTV footage showed the man.
Left that one. Whistling past the stumps. Just left that alone.
It's in the corridor of uncertainty for
Yeah.
sure.
Wobbling.
Yeah. CCTV footage showed the man looking at his crotch as he approaches a bench, pulling up the leg of his shorts before sitting down, and looking at his crotch area 4 more times while seated. I do that at home by myself sometimes.
Yeah, he's having a root around.
Yeah. A rearrange, as my dad calls it.
Yeah.
You know, whenever you like stand up and sort of like.
It sticks, especially in the heat. It sticks to you.
That's why I don't think there's any way at all that he didn't know this happened, because there's no feeling more freeing than whenever your ball bag has a bit of room to breathe.
Peels off the
Yeah.
the thigh brow.
So you catch on if this happened.
So his defence is he didn't know what you were
Yeah.
talking about.
But you know whenever it's hanging loose.
Yeah, witnesses testified observing a man seated on one of the mall's couches with his penis, quote, outside of his shorts. The man looked right at her, one witness told the court. He was wearing sort of short shorts, little gym shorts.
Yeah.
He
Everyone's got a pair of little shorts.
removed the bag, opened his legs, and his penis and testicles just fell right out. So the thing. Cooper told the court he is 53, married, and this is the detail that really troubles me. He's the owner of a bowling alley.
Again, one of my fans, I think.
That bothers me.
Yeah.
There's something creepy about being the owner of a bowling alley.
Yeah. Yeah, the owner of a bowling alley shouldn't be out in daylight, I don't think, in public space.
It's like, I always question leaders of scout troops.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, why do you want this job?
Yeah.
Because I feel like no normal adult really wants to do that.
No, but it is really good for the kids.
Yeah.
Scouting.
Yeah, sure. Agree.
Get your mind out the gutter. I mean, walking in the hills,
Yeah.
outdoors, nature.
Yeah, it's very wholesome and
Great.
great development.
And I guess the tragedy is that there's a high percentage of scout leaders that are only there because it's a great place to meet kids.
Yeah. So, tragedy there.
Yeah, real tragedy.
A genuine point there. First time ever on this show, I think.
Really
Yeah.
genuine.
20 episodes in.
A genuine point. It's sad that there are so many nonces in the scout organisation.
Yeah, it is. It's tragic.
Surely, though, for jobs like that, there needs to be a really, really strict vetting process for anyone that applies.
Yeah.
Well, if
They're aware of the rumours.
there's enough slipping through the cracks, though.
Yeah.
But I don't think, you can't just identify someone as a nonce willy-nilly.
Well, I look forward to be able to have enough money to do so.
One day.
Go.
One day.
He arrived to the mall wearing cargo shorts with underwear. Before entering, he changed in his vehicle into new shorts he bought to exercise in.
Okay.
He described the new shorts as having a mesh liner like boxer shorts, but he told he took his boxers off because they were bunching up, causing, I can only imagine, chafe and major distress around the sort of hog. Yeah.
If your defence for noncing is chafe,
Yeah,
I think you're in the pan.
it's insufficient. Yeah. Cooper testified he did not know his genitals were exposed, but that he did not intentionally expose himself, and it's possible he just made incidental eye contact with the complainants. On cross-examination, Cooper testified that he'd gone to the mall to exercise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as we all do.
Well, number one.
I can think of nothing better. Go for a run in Stratford, Westfield,
Yeah.
with a backpack, really making everyone at ease.
Yeah.
The guy sweating with
Doing
a backpack
laps.
running through
Yeah.
Westfield.
With your fucking ball bag hanging out.
You've got ball bags hanging out.
Yeah.
People giving me fucking pretzel samples. And I'm just whistling past like it's the marathon. Yeah.
Is it illegal to not wear underwear, though? Because if this is a woman and she's walking up an escalator or something and someone just so happens to see, it's not really their fault. I know this fella, they're claiming...
different.
Yeah, they're claiming that he's actually revealed them, but if someone is just sat there and they're wearing, like, baggy shorts and someone happens to see their bag, that's not technically their fault.
I don't know.
I think it's your fault if you look.
Yeah.
Yeah. You looked at my balls.
Yeah. You should go to court. They're my balls.
Yeah.
Perv.
Yeah.
It seems to always be consistent with these stories, whether it's like indecent exposure, a sexual offence, noncery. They're always married. You
They're
never see
always
like
married.
a single paedophile.
Well, yeah, listen, if you don't like golf, that's what you do.
Yeah.
You have to choose between this and golf.
I did say I hate golf. earlier.
Yeah.
Um,
Like I say, I just want to call people pedophiles and get away with it.
Right, on to our next story then. This is our favourite location always to visit on this programme is Africa, because there's always mental stuff going on. A pastor in Zambia has died after he was buried alive by his followers. James Sakala of the Zion Church in an unpronounceable African town, claimed he would resurrect after 3 days, just like Jesus, the Son of God. It's clarified here, if you didn't know. I think he was hoping to profit from some publicity. Get in. All ye of little faith, bury this Sakara you see now, and he will arise from the dead and breathe his free full lungs again, he told his followers before being buried. Dressed for the occasion in a white gown, a pair of slippers, and with his hands tied up. The clergyman was buried alive in a shallow grave by 3 members of his church. He said he would come back to life on the 3rd day, but when they dug up the grave, they found him dead.
commitment to the bit is astonishing. 3 days.
3 days.
Give yourself an hour or something. When they've gone home.
Well, I think he wanted to beat Jesus' record.
Oh, I see. Right. Time trial.
It's not very impressive if you only do an hour.
Yeah, but I mean,
the benchmark's been set. It's like me running a 20-second 100 meters.
Yeah.
Like it's not spectator sport.
3 days.
I admire his faith. I don't think I've ever had this much faith in anything.
No. Also, people get buried alive on I'm a Celeb for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, 3 days though.
It's not, but
and that looks easy. So I think 3 days is actually doable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon so. I might have a go at this. We often try the things we talk about in the stories.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So we reported about the Cardboard Tube Fighting League, which is probably something your fans are into.
Yeah.
There's a lot of crossover between those fans.
I think so.
The other day, so we did a fight just to see by their rule set.
What is the Cardboard Tube Fighting League?
It's like sword fighting minus all the cool parts of sword fighting.
Just using like Pringles tubes and
Yeah.
kitchen roll.
Basically, and they've got like a point system.
Are they doing this in like adult nappies? Is it like a sex thing or?
No,
They make dinosaur costumes out of cardboard.
they wear cardboard armor and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's based in Seattle, as you might imagine.
We didn't have the armor. We raw dogged that. We just had the tubes.
Yeah.
And the way they score it though is the first person who breaks their tube loses. Even if you break the tube over someone's head, surely that's doing more damage.
It's counterintuitive. You want to break the tube first, I would have thought.
Have you seen the game Japanese? Obviously, they do anything over there with someone's blindfolded with like a thing and a sock, and it's in a tiny room, and they're just like they're trying to feel where the guy is, and they've got like a thing in their mouth, and they're just trying to hide.
I've seen that.
It looks great.
They do it with a belt as well.
Yeah, it's fucking brilliant.
Someone just fucking.
Who wins?
They're basically just doing this, and then if the idea is that you don't make a noise if you get hit, because then you reveal your location.
Yeah.
They just go for it.
So how do you win?
Well, listen, winning in Japanese culture isn't really a thing.
They're very modest.
It's more about them both getting off, I think.
Anyway, reports indicate that Sakala's soiled gown was covered with mucus and blood,
man.
an indication that he struggled to death under the weight of kilograms of dirt. He left behind a pregnant wife.
Oh my!
Yeah, I know.
Well, do you know what? That makes sense now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't into golf. He wasn't into the Scouts. He
No.
thought, "Fuck it,
I'm very much
getting out
like
of
that.
this."
I need a new hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Police have arrested the guys one of the guys who helped bury him alive, and the other two suspects are still at large. I'm not sure that's a crime.
They aren't culpable. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Like that's not their
I
fault.
think if you fuck around, you find out. I think that's from Psalms 8:12.
I think that's the same as driving a Tesla in auto mode.
Yeah.
It's not. It's a higher power that's really caused the issue, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or
Jesus take the wheel.
Or the lack of one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also don't think he ever fully backed himself to come back to life. I think he was planning on lasting the 3 days. Then whenever the dirt's brushed off his coffin, he'd take like a real dramatic exhale, and as thick as pig shit followers that believed he could actually do it.
Do you reckon he
would be
thought he had
there.
to hold his breath the whole time?
Yeah.
Like going under a tunnel.
I think that's
Yeah.
what he was aiming for.
Yeah.
I've seen some crazy, like, Africans interact with Christianity a little bit different to how we do.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen the clip of that priest making that woman's hand longer?
No.
So she's got a problem where one of her hands is not as long as the other one,
Yeah.
and he
Devastating.
does some sort of voodoo spells or whatever.
Yeah.
Not to cast a racial stereotype or anything, and she does this.
Yeah.
Which, for the listener, I moved my hand. It was behind my other hand, and now I've just moved it so they line up. They're flush, and the crowd are just going mental.
Yeah.
They
Do you reckon that would have worked on your friend?
they love
Hey,
it.
what?
Do you reckon that would have worked on your friend with the small hand?
Oh mate, if the solution was there the whole time.
Yeah, I don't think what he just then two other fingers and a proper thing just come out.
Yeah.
I would have gone wild if that had happened.
Yeah.
That would have warranted the applause.
Yeah, I don't think these guys are responsible for this. I think they're just following the word of the Lord as they know it.
It's like that that German or Austrian guy who put on the internet that he wanted to be eaten,
Yes, do you know about this?
and then someone ate him, and then he got in trouble.
Yeah.
It's like, well,
There's a lot of stuff in the dark web like that.
Generosity.
Was he German?
I don't know that, but I feel it.
Guess,
was.
yeah.
I think that's a stone cold good guess.
I just wonder how you get to that point? Like, you must have tried everything. There's a lot of things on the evolutionary scale from I like light BDSM up to I want to get eaten. There's a lot of stops on the way. It's not a direct train.
No.
Is it a case where he's murdered and then eats him after, or is he like cutting off
I
bits
think
of him?
he's in a bath and he's seeing him eaten. I think.
It was like over the course of days that he sort of scrammed all the bits.
I think.
You,
so.
you could get a good few meals out of a whole person.
Tapas.
Yeah.
How many days in is a cock surviving, do you reckon?
Huh?
How many days in is a cock surviving?
Well, I reckon.
My policy when I eat food is save the best bit for last. So.
I reckon the gooch is probably the sort of the delicacy. You know how like ox cheek or like pig,
Yeah, ox gooch.
I reckon the gooch is probably the.
I think it might be like
delicate part of the.
Like Japanese pufferfish, where if you don't prepare it properly, it might be poisonous.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Mine fucking definitely is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think you'd eat vaginas like oysters.
I don't even know.
Put a lemon wedge in it.
At the airport.
Airport pints. Bucket of twats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So that's it. We
stuff.
really covered that story in its entirety. Right. Moving on to our sports segment, and which is of course called Snatch of the Day.
That's
Just a little pun there. We were just talking about that. Just talking about Snatch of the Day. Yeah. Every week we cover a mental sport that isn't really a real sport, or something strange that's happened in a real sport. Like last week when we covered a women's football team who lost 40-0 and they got angry with us because that happened in 2016 and apparently we're making them look bad this year.
Right.
So sorry to those guys. Anyway, today we're covering sky surfing. I'm sure you're a big fan. It's good news for everybody who's bored with traditional sports like Wii tennis, carriage racing and mild BDSM. This week, as two visionaries have announced the development of a brand new extreme sport dubbed sky surfing or wingboarding. Basically, you stand on a board.
Yeah.
It's a bit like wakeboarding, but instead of being behind a boat, you're attached to an aircraft.
Right.
I don't know if you're attached I guess you must be attached to the board.
So it's like the end of Die Hard 2.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, Christ.
Have you seen Die Hard 2?
Yeah, I've seen Die Hard too.
Is he sky surfing?
Yeah,
For a bit, and then he sets fire to the. He shoots to one of the engines. Sort of spoil the. It was made in the 80s, fuck yourself. He shoots one of the engines, and there's fuel. There's a line of fuel, and the plane takes off, and he just sets fire to it, and then the fire goes up the fuel trail, and it's fucking awesome.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Need to put it on my list.
Have you seen any of the Die Hards?
No.
Christ.
Even
What
the
are young
fourth
watching,
one.
What are young men watching these days?
His TikToks.
Yeah.
I like sort of really like tragic war films.
Right.
That's
okay.
my sort of bag. Yeah.
Band of Brothers. You've watched that?
No, it's on the list though.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's a good
Working
one.
on. I've only seen about 4 films.
Right. Okay.
And 3 of them are American Pie, the first 3. So.
Okay.
And Paddington 2.
So when you say war films,
well, I would consider that the War of Love.
right? Yeah. Got you. It's all
Right.
semantics, really, isn't it? Genres.
I think it's an allegory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
American Pie is an allegory for war,
Yeah. Like I think there's parallels between.
or
those-
World War II is an allegory for American Pie.
Well, I think there's parallels between like the sort of tragic protagonists that you have in those films and dehumanized soldiers in the trenches.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when he shags that pie, that is a situation of serious desperation.
Yeah.
It's like when stealing from the dead enemies in the trenches.
Okay. Yeah.
That's how I read that.
That's
film.
how you, when you watch American Pie and he fucks an apple pie, that's what you're getting from it.
That's what I feel.
Single tear on the other cheek.
Yeah, absolutely.
Poppy on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's when Stifler in the second film when they go to the beach house and Stifler sits in the back of the truck and then he shouts, "The Stiffmeister's coming back to East Great Falls, baby, yeah!" That is like, that's the battle cry.
Right.
That's the bugle sounding.
Yeah.
That's the last post.
Holds up.
So yeah. Anyway, wingboarding.
You should start a letterbox account.
Yeah, I've got one. I do the nerdiest fucking reviews of American Pie.
What's Letterboxd?
It's
People like post the film they've watched with a short review about it.
Oh right.
it's like social network for people who are insufferable about films.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, lead engineer Aaron, and this is how you spelled his last name. You guys can tell me how you think you pronounce it. So first name Aaron, second name WYPYSZYNKSKY.
Why paedophile?
I think it's. Do you have it written in your script?
Whippazinski.
Whippazinski.
I'd say.
Yeah. No vowels in it, really. He's developing the board.
That's my Wi-Fi password.
Yeah, exactly. So he's developing the board, and he said it would be basically easily manageable with adrenaline junkies able to control the board by shifting their weight back and forward like a snowboard. He said, aviation is my passion. Not only is it my 9-to-5 job, it is my hobby. And I'm suspicious of people whose hobby is also their job.
Yeah.
It's like working in a coal mine and then coming home and playing Minecraft. I think, surely you need a break from this. My friend, she works at Tesco. And she came back the other day and she was watching the Tesco documentary.
You're not friends with anyone who works at Tesco's?
Absolutely. Minty.
Really?
Minty from Tesco. Genuinely. Really, that's her name.
Really?
Yeah.
Minty at Tesco's?
Minty, yeah, at Tesco's.
Christ.
Yeah. Probably the only Minty who works there.
How the upper class have fallen.
Yeah.
Is she on the board at Tesco though?
Oh,
Is she working?
Tesco HQ.
Yeah.
Oh, no. She's not on the
She's
board.
shelf stacker.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
So sorry, what's her hobby?
She came back from a shift when we lived at uni together.
Yeah.
And she put on the Tesco documentary.
There's a documentary about Tesco?
People who work at Tesco, yeah.
Christ.
How bleak is that?
That is sad.
So, this guy loves flying too much. And it's also a financially accessible sport, this one. It's perfect for sort of grassroots wakeboarding. Mr. Whippazinski only needs 191 grand to build a prototype of this board.
Oh, so it's not even a thing yet?
It's
entirely hypothetical.
Yeah.
He's invented.
Yeah.
And just needs... This is a Dragon's Den pitch.
Basically, I think there's like a fundraiser, GoFundMe or something.
Oh, I see, right,
Yeah.
okay. Crowdfunder.
Yeah.
I feel like this to you is what skiing is to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You like skiing, Finn?
Never been.
Never been.
No.
It runs through my blood.
Well, yeah. The
As you might
difficulty
imagine.
I have is that I sort of culturally am privately educated, and I am privately educated, but I'm privately educated because both my parents were teachers, and so I got in for free, which in some ways is even more privileged. But
Yeah.
I get all the flack that you might,
Yeah.
but I have none of the actual
Connections.
assets or wealth. So
Yeah.
I've never actually been skiing, even
Right.
though I probably sound like I do.
Yeah, that was my dad is exactly the same position as that.
What he was,
So my grandpa was a teacher.
yeah,
Back in the day. I think it's weird. It must be weird teaching your own kids
yeah.
in class. At my school that I went to, which was in Singapore, the kids whose parents were teachers just got made fun of the whole time for being poor. I'm not sure.
You went to school in Singapore?
Yeah.
Wow. How long for?
4 years?
Christ.
Yeah. It was a highly selective, like hard-working. Like if you got a B, you were a failure. It was one of those sort of things. They really push you. Whippazinski was asked how he came up with the idea. He said, I work a standard day as a flight test engineer. Then I come home to my wife and son. And after my son goes to bed, I head out to the workshop until 1 a.m. most nights.
He's definitely one of my fans.
To bring my dreams of the future of aviation to reality.
Well, his wife just sits there downing Pinot.
I doubt he's working. I don't know about you, but this seems fairly simple to me. This, like, it's just a board on
Tying a board to a plane.
Yeah, well, like, think of like a biplane with one of those posters on the back.
Yeah,
You just replace that with a board.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. It seems like you don't have to put in these long night shifts. I think he's doing something else in the shed. Is what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
How much do you reckon you'd need for your crowdfund to actually make this happen?
Oh, 25 quid.
25 quid.
Yeah, just buy one of those little surfboards they have in, like,
A
seaside
boogie board.
shops. Boogie boards.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you'd want at least a bungee cord to hold on to, something quite robust to hang.
A few zip ties, maybe.
Probably.
A couple of zip locks.
Yeah.
And
Gaffer tape, maybe.
I guess planes the big expense. Or you're just hitching onto any sort of commercial aircraft.
Bro, breaking into Gatwick and sort of
With some bolt cutters.
gaffer taping myself to the back of a 747.
Yeah.
I think you're like into 9/11 in a way. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people are like I'm sort of I know it happened. It was before I was born.
Yeah. That's mad.
Yeah, like actually.
Yeah.
So like, I'm not really. I wasn't there for it. I can't remember it. I know where it happened. But you're sort of in.
You conceived post-Iraq invasion then?
No, that was 2003, wasn't it?
Yeah, March 2003.
I was at 02. I was born.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
no, I'm into it.
Right, it's sort of a hobby for you.
Yeah, I just don't think sort of world news has ever really been better.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, that's
true. Nothing's really surprising in the way that a perfectly choreographed terrorist attack like that is anymore.
Captures the attention of the world.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you think of anything that's anywhere near as important as that?
Not really, because each day you'll be waiting and seeing the death tolls go up and up and up, and people maybe finding their relatives or someone, you know.
That's true, because they had a big search
Yeah.
through the rubble.
Yeah.
And like
More
people.
just the visceral image.
Yeah, right.
It's just, yeah.
But it's one of the, you had to be there, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't possibly know how it feels. Anyway, little 9/11 chat there. We're going to move on to the weather.
Snip, snip.
Going to move on to the weather. Drizzle kicks our weather segment, and it's bloody hot. Goodbye. On to the game segment. This is Gamey Schumer. Every week we play a fun game with a guest of our choosing. Usually we play Sodium Carousel, but Finn has been spared that indignity. We're going to play Guess the Person Written on Your Head. Do you want to go first and ask me a question?
Sure. Am I dead?
Yes. Am I a man?
Yes.
Okay.
Am I a man?
Yes.
Man.
So I'm I've assumed I'm an alive man. I think you've picked someone contemporary, would be my guess. Am I on the internet?
Yes.
Okay.
Am I white?
Yeah. That's a good question.
Dead white man.
Yeah. Am I fat?
No.
Okay. So skinny internet man.
I feel like an umpire at Wimbledon.
I'm a dead white guy. Am I a politician?
Not by job title, but there were certainly political aspects to what you had to do.
Yeah.
So internet guy. Am I an influencer?
I guess.
Okay.
By default, kinda.
Right,
I
okay,
guess.
yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Political aspects. So I'm probably kind of I'm probably going to be an activist of some sort. I imagine.
Well, depends what you believe in.
Okay. Dead white man, not a politician. But in the political space.
Definitely were political leanings
Right, okay.
involved in what he was doing.
But not by trade a politician. Okay, am I in the arts?
No.
You need to get an idea of the era.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah, that probably makes sense.
Right. So I'm just like any TikToker. So how do I halve the TikTokers? Do I get laughed at or laughed with?
You have to ask that in a yes or no question.
That's true. Do I get laughed at?
Yes.
Okay.
Right,
so I've narrowed it down to about 3 people.
Am I a figure in the second half of the 20th century?
Your famous period was in the first half.
Right.
Yeah. Your notable era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You die before the second half.
Yeah.
Got it.
Did he?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Am I Cal the Dragon?
No.
No.
Right. A dead white man peaks in the first half.
Yeah.
Of the 20th
Definite.
century. political aspect to what I do, but I'm not a politician.
Yeah.
Am
This was a tough one.
I European?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got to be Beavo.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Lovely stuff.
I've only just started seeing his videos.
Okay. He's completely.
That's funny because he's
Yeah.
really dropped off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's when I started seeing people.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Cool.
the downturn.
What do you think about him?
Hey.
What's
I
your
don't really
impression?
know- I don't really know what opinion there is. He's a guy who swallowed stuff weirdly, and then became sort of famous,
Yeah.
and then spent all his money, and then got kind of essentially cuck shamed on a podcast.
Yeah.
It's like a Bret Easton Ellis novel. I don't really know what to think. It's
You
mad.
saying sort of stuff like that in that shirt with that man on your head is so funny. It's just such
Yeah.
a unique situation.
Do you want to rapid fire a few guesses?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So sorry. Dead European political. Am I Eastern European?
No.
British?
No.
French?
No.
Italian?
No.
Christ. German?
Yeah.
I'm not Hitler.
No.
No.
He was definitely a politician.
Yeah, exactly. That's my
Yeah.
point. Famed for his
Politics. Yeah. It's almost his only thing,
yeah,
really.
Yeah. His deal making. German. Am I Freud?
No.
Karl Marx?
No.
First half of the 20th century, German, dead, white, obviously.
Yeah.
Political. German. Germans that aren't...
Hitler was a good guess.
So is he a Nazi?
Yeah.
And he also did kill himself.
Oh, right, Goebbels.
No.
Himmler.
No. Are we going to go through
Here we
all?
go.
We're going to go through all of them.
Albert Speer.
No.
Joachim von Ribbentrop.
No.
Goering. I can just go.
No.
No.
It is. You're dancing around it.
Really?
Now. Yeah.
Okay. Christ, hang on.
Rudolf Hess.
Rudolf Hess.
No.
David Guetta. That's where he got the name.
Hermann Goering.
I've said that.
Goebbels.
Said that. Ava Brown. Oh, it's a woman, man.
Yeah.
Christ. So it's
the other one.
it's a mid-ranking Nazi that
Yeah.
named.
It was a tough round.
Walter Funk.
No.
Fucking Goebbels, Goering, Himmler, Hitler,
What a ridiculous
Yeah.
game.
Speer, Adolf Eichmann.
No.
Incredible knowledge of Nazi
Yeah.
Germany.
Yeah, except this one guy.
Who's this? So Red Baron. That's World War One.
No.
I must be missing quite a big one, or have you gone? I feel like I've named all the big ones.
Yeah.
One more clue. He was popularly known as the Desert Fox.
Oh, Rommel.
Rommel. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Owen, Rommel, and Beavo there. In that round of guess who's on your head.
You always forget about Rommel because of he's in the wrong theatre, isn't he?
Yeah. North Africa.
Very
Some
good.
would say a backwater, but actually very important.
Crucially,
in strategic.
tactically,
Yeah.
but kind of in the popular imagination, it's sort of a bit like Tower 7,
Yeah.
9/11.
A forgotten afterthought.
Forgotten afterthought.
Yeah.
Where people still died.
But actually a very important part of the whole
The
thing.
whole thing.
Well, I would say maybe the allegory is the Pentagon. People forget about that as
Yeah,
well.
they do.
Or that fourth plane.
Or United 93, or the one that there's a musical about. Come fly with me? No. Come away with me.
I don't think Come Fly With Me is about. Yeah.
There's a musical called About 9/11.
Wonderful stuff. We're going to move on to our next segment now. Questionable. This is our audience interaction segment where we ask the audience a tantalising question and get them to send in their best responses. This week we asked you, what's the biggest length you've gone to impress a boy or a girl? I pretended to have autism so she would sympathise with me and show me some attention. 10 years later, I've been diagnosed with acute autistic tendencies. I got what I asked for. Good to see the Finn Taylor's fans writing in once again.
How good is he at pretending?
yeah, that's what I mean. Do you think that's it? Like, if you really do believe something, you can make it. You know, he sort of manifested this in a sort of girly crystal way.
You know, whenever you're younger and your mum would say, like, don't make that face, it'll stay that way.
Yeah.
That happened to him with autism.
Yeah. Don't
Yeah.
make eye contact. It'll stay that way.
I've found that because I started out like sort of playing a character that I wasn't. on TikTok, and then like I have sort of become it.
Yeah,
because I have to live and breathe it sometimes.
Well, the problem with doing long form, as this is that you either have to just become it,
or I get cruelly exposed and then disappoint my audience, which is where we usually are.
Where we are, yeah.
Back in the day, I bought the CD single with the song "I'll Make Love to You" by Boys to Men on it. Gave it to the girl I was keen on. She gave it right back to me and said, "I'm not interested." Devastating. This one's good. This is like your era.
Right.
Went to the Natural History Museum in London. That wasn't even the bit I was referring to.
Right.
Went to the Natural History Museum in London on a school trip in 2018 and bought her a £10 fidget spinner as a flex before giving it to her as a gift. She thought it was funny, but ended up playing with it in a different guy she had a crush on a few weeks later in class, while I was sitting 3 rows behind them. I ended up getting it back from her because I told her I wanted to use it for a YouTube video.
And that's my era, is it?
I mean, that...
2018, fidget spinners.
Yeah. Your favourite things.
Yeah. £10 for a fidget spinner?
£10 for a fidget spinner, but also, like, this is just indicative of society as it existed in 2018. The way you get your fidget spinner back from a girl now is saying you have to use it for a YouTube video, which I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depressing, isn't it?
Made a girl I liked in The Sims, and then...
This is my era.
And then I showed it to her. Then I made our 2 characters woohoo in front of her. Great times.
That's what got to be the most incel-y way of asking someone out.
Yeah.
Just make them on the same...
I feel like that's sexual harassment at some stage.
Something wrong with that.
Yeah.
He ended it off saying great times, so...
Maybe she was into it.
Maybe.
They deserve each other.
I think, like, yeah, if a girl who you are trying to, get with is into that sort of stuff.
Match made in heaven, then?
No, I just think that's not the sort of girl you really want. It's like it worked, but did it work?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I attempted to go vegan and posted on my Snapchat story a bowl of salad saying, "Anyone know any vegan recipes? I'm not going to live it down. Ever again."
What? Yeah.
People get made fun of for being vegan.
Yeah, but why? So that's a flex, though, is it? Posting a bowl of salad.
That's the length he's gone to impress a boy or a girl. So I guess the girl must have been vegan.
Yeah.
And he's like, I attempted to go vegan and posted on my Snapchat saying, "Anyone know any vegan recipes?"
Right.
Public story, so everyone's looking at that. He says, "I don't think I'll ever live it down."
I see.
Yeah, you wouldn't live that one down.
Yeah. I'm wildly embarrassed to admit, but in my freshman year of high school, in America, is in brackets, as if we needed that, I tried to score a bicycle goal. I hate that.
Yeah.
Really hate bicycle goal. Yeah. And
It's like whenever they go on about the outside backs and the outside midfielders.
Is that what they say?
Yeah, I've heard that.
Outside mids.
Yeah.
Do they get their football book from like the 30s? Like,
Must do. Or penalty kicks.
Yeah.
They just say everything and it's full.
I think penalty kicks is
Yeah,
acceptable.
but you say it goes to penalties. You wouldn't be like, oh, it's a penalty kick shootout.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just slightly wrong about everything.
Goal time is funny though when they say that. Goal time.
What does that mean?
That's when someone
scored. Yeah.
Goal time.
Goal. Well, like
Mark
it was coming up.
Yeah.
Out of bounds as well. Whenever someone puts it wide.
Gross.
And the man of the match is the MVP.
Yeah.
Not a fan of that.
Can't say man of the match anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Person.
Player of the match.
They them of the match.
Yeah. Went to shit.
Throw on. Yeah, throw on's disgusting.
Isn't it? It's
Yeah.
gross. Oh God.
Makes you shiver a bit, doesn't it?
There's been a trend in all sports now where they start to have people play music at halftime, and I'm like, obviously we got a game from America, but I think it's a real disease.
Yeah.
Like at the Women's Football World Cup that was in Australia, they had Coldplay on at halftime, and I was like, this isn't football. We can't be doing this.
No.
You can't have bands performing at halftime at football match.
15 minutes as well.
Yeah.
So how? Surely they usually put on a stage and stuff for the Super Bowl because there'd be like 2 hours in between.
No, there isn't though. There's only like
It's like in and out. The Super Bowl performances are 15 minutes.
Oh fuck, really?
Maybe 20.
they do like 8 songs in 8 half.
They do a medley.
Yeah. Anyway, bicycle goal. And I fractured my spine, and then she watched me get airlifted her to the hospital.
Yeah.
To make matters worse, someone made a meme out of it with a whole template.
Oh wow.
I ended
No
up
coming back from that.
leaving schools, is what it says at the end.
Yeah.
which is understandable. That is bad. The airlift is really embarrassing.
Yeah.
Especially in a situation where you could easily just be put on a stretcher. And in fact, that's what happens in sports matches all the time.
Yeah. But you fucked it so hard.
She loved Christmas, so I showed up dressed as Santa for non-uniform day. It's not Halloween. That's not what non-uniform day is for.
Did it say what month it was? Because it could be a lot worse if it's like fucking.
Well, I don't know, but
midsummer.
I've never been to school on Christmas Day. That's so bad. Yeah. Hey, imagine turning up in a costume on non-uniform day.
The worst thing at my school was someone like wrote a song and
Yeah.
accidentally sent it to the lads group chat instead of the girl. And I was instantly screen recorded. You never live stuff like that down.
No.
How old are you?
24.
Christ.
Yeah. He looks old as well.
Jesus.
I feel like we both look
both
a good
look
bit
old,
older.
actually. Yeah. People on TikTok accuse me of having a mortgage.
No one accused me of that. They just accused me of being old.
Yeah.
No.
I licked a dog shit in year 9 because a girl said she'd kiss me if I did. She didn't. That's just hilarious. Yeah. You ever licked a dog shit?
No, I've not.
Scranning a cow pat. I think that would be the most palatable one.
Well, do you know
'Cause it
what?
dries.
I've seen my dog has eaten a cow pat, and then I let my dog lick my face. So
It's not a million miles
not-
away.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
not immediately afterwards. It's not cause and effect. It's not. Come here. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Also, like, you know that's not going to work because no one's going to snog you after you've just licked a dog shit. It's an incredible gambit.
How desperate do you have to be to even try that, though?
Yeah, I know.
Sounds like he just really wanted to lick some dog shit.
Yeah. I was talking to a girl mid-Fortnite game, and she asked how it went. I wasn't great at the game, so I didn't win, but I googled Victory Royale and sent her a picture.
I don't know what any of that was.
It just means you've won the game.
Right.
Yeah.
So he googled images of someone else winning the game, and then sent it to her, like getting a dub. Bleak stuff.
Really bleak. And she's into that, is she?
I highly doubt it.
Well, it says she believed it at the end here. So, oh, lovely stuff. Brilliant news. Thank you so much. Awesome, lovely. Well, I've just had some news from our culture correspondent Aretha Spanklin in Oslo. Not Ohio. This is today's news. Today, of course, being the 10th of December, 1964. Martin Luther King, fresh off of his 1962 win of Ropiest Hairline of the Year. And and his claiming of the 1963 Mogford Prize for Food and Drink Writing with his story, Madame Bleedy's Disdain, has been awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for his non-violent struggle for civil rights for the Afro-American population. Wonderful stuff. This was a particularly tight race for the top prize this year. Obviously, names being put out there like Fidel Castro, Nikita Khrushchev, etc. How do you feel? Do you think Martin should have won it?
The Nobel Peace Prize?
Yeah, this year, 1964.
64.
Yeah.
Now, hang on. Is this the year he's assassinated?
68.
That's 68.
So that won't happen for 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when did he set up Burger King?
Somewhere in between.
Sorry, you have to fill me in there.
Sorry?
Set up
Martin Luther Burger King, that's his full name.
Right. So he
Presumably that's why he got the prize.
yeah, for the Whopper. That's what it says here. For making slightly worse burgers than McDonald's. Yeah. No, so apparently he got it, for his struggle for civil rights. But I think he's a little bit of a one-hit wonder personally. Like, I Have a Dream, great song.
Yeah.
But like, what else has he done?
You're right.
It's like Lucas Moura is a great analogy, I would think.
Yeah.
Because he scored a hat-trick in that Champions League semi-final.
His I Have a Dream.
Yeah, if he hadn't done that, he's the most bang average footballer I've ever seen.
Yeah, and a similarly ropey hairline.
Yeah, also. There's actually a lot of parallels between MLK and
Yeah.
Lucas Moura.
I reckon he was born on the day that MLK...
No, he's way younger than that. He's so much younger than that. He's like 30 years old.
I reckon MLK survived, moved to Brazil,
Yeah.
and then had a son.
Oh, I thought you were just going to say turned into Lucas Moura.
Yeah, let's say that. Fuck it.
I think like if MLK was in the sort of 1960s Brazilian football team,
Yeah.
that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
He looks like he could do a job there, slot in there next to sort of
Pele, Garincha.
Garincha, yeah. Because they had little techie wingers back then.
Right.
Yeah.
You're calling Martin Luther King a little techie winger.
He was certainly techie.
Yeah.
He had rhetorical skills like no other.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What do you think?
I've seen defenders of his Nobel Peace Prize described as nostalgia merchants,
Yeah.
which I don't really think is completely fair because you compare him to like JFK, who was just assassinated before that.
Well, but if he hadn't had a career-ending injury, I think he might have won this.
I don't know.
Like it's been unfair for JFK. He had a shot at winning this prize.
MLK had more opposition though. He had a harder. He was up against it a bit more than JFK.
Tougher league.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're saying like Harry Kane would score 38 goals, but in the Bundesliga it's not quite as impressive.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Right. Okay. Interesting. What do you think? How do you think this affects Mahatma Gandhi's legacy? Because obviously he never won one,
Yeah.
and this kind of puts. I feel like what Gandhi did. This sort of puts it to shame. The fact that he's a great player, but he's never been rewarded for his entire career.
Is he the best to never win it?
Maybe.
Well, in the same way that sort of there's the kind of everyone sweeps the Ronaldo Las Vegas allegations under the rug.
Yeah.
Everyone sort of sweeps the whole Gandhi sleeping next to 13-year-old girls to prove he's not a paedophile
Yeah.
under the rug.
Yeah.
Which is a big pedo flex.
That's a bit like the Michael Jackson Neverland situation.
Yeah, exactly.
But he won a lot of Grammys.
True.
Yeah. He got recognised for his art form.
He did.
Whereas Mahatma Gandhi really, he didn't even get any new flip flops. I think he just had the same pair his whole career.
Yeah.
They look pretty ropey.
I think part of his philosophy was no new flip flops.
Was it? I
I think
wasn't
he was
aware
big
of
on vintage.
that. Mahatma's dusty flip flops.
Yeah.
People who bargain on Vinted over £1.
Yeah, real sad stuff.
Well, I don't understand Vinted anyway because I don't want other people's old smelly clothes. I don't know how you feel about it, but
no, I'm. It's more that I can't be bothered to. I don't know what to wear.
yeah,
And
I go to M&S.
right, yeah.
I have that catalogue, so I just go every time. Yeah.
So,
And they have clothes there, so I don't know why you'd want someone else's like stained clothes.
yeah. Well, I think there's a filter you can unpick if you don't want the stains. You can unpick.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want the stains clothes.
Yeah, absolutely. I also think like Gandhi did it like with very little help. Right? He was a one-man band, really. He was carrying that team, and by that team I mean the entire Indian subcontinent against British colonial rule. Whereas like Malcolm X and Rosa Parks both play with Martin Luther King.
Those three are like that prime Barcelona midfield.
Yeah. Messi, Suarez, Neymar, or like
Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, I would say.
little tiki-taka, just passing it between
So
them.
Rosa Parks is refused to sit down on the bus.
Yeah, she parks it.
Yeah. Rosa Busquets, yeah. All I'm saying is I think there's great chemistry there.
Yeah.
They work together really well as a unit, and maybe the others should have been rewarded.
I guess did they know each other?
They play for the same club.
African American, Africa America.
What? Yeah,
So Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King, and Malcolm.
same national team.
Play for the same national team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like they've got great chemistry. It's like, but they have so much good chemistry. It's like that Spain team that won those 3 tournaments in a row.
Yes.
But it's just Barcelona, that team.
Yeah, right.
So
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
brilliant stuff.
There's a couple of Real Madrid, and I guess in this analogy,
Yeah,
white allies.
guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, slightly underrated selection. Didn't even get a nomination this year. So I feel like Chairman Mao.
Yeah.
I feel like he was past his prime in 64.
Do you think?
Yeah, just slightly.
Mao. It's quite funny to call something the Great Leap Forward
Yeah.
when it kills 80 million people.
Yeah. I mean,
Number one great policy.
we visit this argument sometimes because obviously we live in an overpopulated world. There's not enough resources to sustain
Yeah.
the massive population that we have. So like 80 million, killing 80 million people, horrible thing to do, massive genocide. But it prevented over 450 million more people, if you see what I mean.
I do, but then think of the computer chips that we could have.
True. Yeah.
Think of all the cheap bath toys that we could. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All the plastic
Lost.
garbage.
Think of everything the world's lost.
Do you know that microplastics are now found in every human testicle in the world?
Well, yeah, if you're into that.
Yeah. Yeah, we know a guy who went traveling in China, and he met a bloke who works at the iPhone factory.
Oh, is it just one iPhone factory?
Yeah, one big one.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
With the nets and everything.
Yeah, it's called Shanghai.
Yeah.
Just one big factory.
Yeah.
And what he said to him was, "You guys aren't paying enough for the iPhone because I don't get paid enough. So you guys need to pay more."
That's the issue.
Right.
Yeah, that's what. And he trying to explain to like someone with that sort of life experience that that's not the problem is really difficult.
Yeah.
Especially in Chinese.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's an interesting mindset. And clearly, they've been brainwashed
The Chinese.
into thinking that like the Western people are exploiting them. I guess.
Yeah.
Which they are, but not in the way that guy put it.
So we're not paying enough for our iPhones.
Yeah, because he doesn't get
He
paid
doesn't
enough.
Get paid enough.
Yeah, that's the logic.
Right.
Which.
Can't fight that.
No, I think we pay enough. I think there's greed in the middle there.
Yeah.
Between us and him, Steve Jobs. So yeah.
Jobs. All comes back to jobs.
And yeah, as once again, all roads lead to jobs. So thanks for listening to another pontificate. What's a pontificate? Do you know?
It's a papal word.
Yeah. I'm not sure it's the word I was looking for.
What are you trying to say?
I don't know, I was just trying to round it off in a sort of, poignant way. Thanks for another paradigm-shifting, perspective-altering, eye-opening, leg-spreading episode of Radio Rufus. We've come to the end now. Thank you so much to Finn Taylor for coming on. Been an absolute pleasure and a delight. In more ways than one, and more than we can ever imagine. We touched on some unusual subjects today, as we always do. Make sure to hop back in next week for another round of raucous banter, mild chat, and occasional news.
Is there anything you want to promote or anything, Finn, before we go?
Oh, yeah. My UK and Ireland stand-up tour has been extended. I'm coming to Leeds, Dublin, Brighton, Bristol, Lyme Regis. Why? Bristol.
Where is it, and how the fuck do you spell it? My two questions about Lyme Regis.
It's spelt the same as the disease.
Yep.
And it's in Dorset.
Right. Is it next to some cliffs?
In my head it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if it goes badly, that's where I'll go. My tour's been extended. Finishing up at the Hackney Empire, which there are still some cheap tickets left.
Been there.
And there's my internet show is coming back for a new series this summer. At some point.
Fantastic. Finn's got a couple of new projects out, and his massive tour has been extended across the UK, visiting many locations. Make sure you check his stuff out. And thanks for listening. Back to you in the studio.